normal. It wasn't until later where I really started to fall in love with him. It was after senior year of high school. He's like 2 years older, so he graduated by then. We would go with my friend and get boba and talk about stuff. Places we wanted to visit, windsurfing, whether aliens were real.
Did he know the truth?
He did. He's very wise. And so one day, my best friend said that she was going on a family trip to Spain. And one of her cousins was going to come but couldn't. So she was wondering if I could come along with her. She says, whoops, you and my brother have seats together for this 10-hour flight. Guess you'll be stuck next to each other. And we're sitting on the plane and we talk a lot. And I'm trying so hard to tell him that I like him. And I don't know what to say, and I don't know how, but I think he could tell.
Why do you think he could tell?
We were looking at the guidebook and talking about all the places we wanted to see in Sevilla, and there was this field of sunflowers. It was supposed to be like miles and miles of them. And so I look him in the eyes and I say, I think we should go to see this together.
How did he respond?
He said, yes, of course. I would love to try and see that with you. He said that on the plane. But then he gets to Spain and he starts to be with his other cousins. And he starts to go out a lot at night. And I remind him a bunch of times. And every time he says, yes, of course. Sincerely, like, he really does mean it. He really does want to go with me. And so it gets to almost the end of the trip, and we're drinking wine, and the sun is setting. And I get up the courage to tell him, I really, really want to go with him to see these sunflowers. And he gives me this look.
What did this look mean to you?
It was like, it's kind of hard to explain. Like he'd made a mistake. Like I'm his little sister's best friend. Why was he talking to me before? He said again he'll go with me, and I said okay.
Those words meant a lot to you, didn't they?
They did. And so I show up to the bus stop, where he said he'd be. And he wasn't there. And so I thought maybe he's going a different way. But I was halfway to the sunflowers when I get this text that he wasn't coming. And so I brought one back to give to him, but he said it wouldn't fit in his bag. And so I declared it at customs.
How do you feel about him now?
I still love him. I can't stop thinking about him, and I might be stalking him.
Where?
Online. I don't have him on Find My Friends, but my friend does, and I know my friend's Apple ID because she gave it to me at a sleepover one time. And so sometimes I log into her account because I know his little dot is going to be traveling across campus to the same 6 places. And sometimes I log into her account because I know his little dot is going to be going to get boba, and I want to know which route he takes. Sometimes I have a good or bad day, depending on whether or not he gets boba.
You must have been quite powerfully, energetically connected with him.
I am, and it's ruining my life. I want him out of my mind, and I want to fill that space with something good. Love, light, microbiology. Something.
What do you think he represents to you?
I don't know. A life with him would be an interesting one. No matter what. A funny one, a free one where we can kind of just follow the sun. Because I don't really know how to do that by myself. Yeah.
Is that all you need to say about him?
I think so.
You think so?
Oh, I know so.
You know so.
I know so. I know so.
Yes, of course. Exactly. This is going to be the last time you are ever going to speak of him. Step into the center of the circle and pick up your token. We're creating a space for you to let all of this go. We're going to envelop you. We're creating a space for you to be witnessed, for you to be understood in the pain that his thoughtlessness caused you. Care is another form of attention, which is another form of love. He deprived you of that when you had opened your heart to him. You want to believe that his failure to plan ahead reflects something other than his indifference to your feelings. But you know in your heart that's not true.
It's not true.
And you know, in the end, you'd be better served by letting it go. How would it feel to embrace wild spontaneity?
Good.
How would it feel to be free?
Wonderful.
All right. We're going to release him together. I want you to tense your feet, your calves, your thighs, your stomach, your back, your shoulders, your neck. Picture flames, orange, blue, amber, emanating from your palms, swirling, crackling up the sunflower stem, turning it into deep black ash. On my count, destroy it. 3, 2, 1. It is done.
How are you feeling? I feel incredible. I feel uplifted and renewed and just transformed.
Thank you so much for being a part of this. What are you going to do with your newfound freedom?
I don't know, Bible homework, I guess.
You focus on your future, okay? You have this fabulous road ahead of you. I can tell. You have an uncommon amount of grace. For all those who share this earth, you are full of so much love. And I'm not in the habit of doing this, but can I tell you something?
Yes.
I see these things. You're going back to Spain without him.
That was beautiful. That was so beautiful and an excellent example of adaptation. Going with the flow of the moon as it changes, waxing and waning.
Gibbous.
While we're waiting on the next volunteer, I'd just like to highlight what I think people are feeling about this notion of attention. One of the most difficult things I think people reckon with in their daily lives is the dilemma. Where do we put our attention?
Insofar as one can put it somewhere.
And spiritually, it may be a question of priorities. Even if there seem to be other forces acting on them, there is a limit to the amount of magnanimity we can extend to another person. And holding those in our lives to a high standard can actually be a way to claim our inborn spiritual power. Aveda actually talks a lot about this in some of her e-courses. That so-called narcissism can actually be a very healthy thing sometimes, because in the end, it's another word for self-determination, which is very important for artists and everyone.
I think there's a movie we watched about that recently for Ghibli Sundays.
Spirited Away is a great example. The protagonist has to hold on to her humanity while every force in the world is conspiring to make her forget. But she remembers.
She's caught into working into the spirit world, which is a place of limitless toil that's run by a hag who takes people's names away. She only gets out because she's smart enough to want to leave.
Don't spoil it.
Just thought people might want to know.
Hello again.
Before we help our next participant release, I'd like to let you all know about my website, avedawin.squarespace.com. I tried Wix, but the uptime was unbearable. If you are still curious about the innate truths that are the foundation of my methodology, you can check them out there. I also have a membership forum for those of you who are already prepared to turbocharge their spiritual growth and alignment. Let's get into the flow.
Oh, hey there.
Hello.
Hi.
Where's the camera?
We're not filming this, man.
Oh, shit.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How are you feeling right now?
I don't know. Confused.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I thought this was for a video. I'm trying to get my song out there so people can see it, especially Megan.
We don't use names here.
Well, she's the one who follows you on TikTok. What do you want me to call her?
Your energy tells me you're a poet. You feel things deeply, and you know how to bring this vivid understanding of the world into your everyday life.
How do you know that?
You're a star seed. So use that power. Name her for here right now.
We used to have all kinds of nicknames for each other. Mine for her were like Monday Saint, Crow Ghost, Juliet, with 4 T's. But like, those were names of the band we were in, so they don't count.
Did you have any names that were for just her?
I mean, I called her Turtle
Why?
because I would FaceTime her when it was time to get up in the morning, and she would pull the covers over her head and make a little turtle shell so that only her face would be peeking out. Turtle.
Okay. Turtle. Now if you could set your token down.
No! Isn't that your thing though? I saw your TikTok of that guy.
That was for a different series. Now we are aligning with the energetic principle of
Common sense.
Now that you've set your token down, we can have a conversation about what led you here. You have to name it in order to release it. Talk to me.
Alright.
When did you first meet Turtle?
When I was 16. She was a friend of my friend, and she was beautiful. I mean, she was pretty too, but like, she had this heart so big it could hold anybody's pain. We wanted to write music together.
What kinds of music?
The good kind. Anything she wanted, basically. I wrote this song for her, and she said she loved it. We performed it all over. School talent shows, and then house parties, and then a club. I can't tell you what it meant to hold that check. I mean, they made it out to the wrong band name, but...
Would you care to treat us to...
Take me, break me, that. Because the thing is, we just had the one song. I tried to write more. We had a few songs that I really liked, but there was nothing that lit her up the same way. We kept playing these clubs, doing covers at house parties, working, getting nowhere. Every day I would come to her with a new idea, and every day she would be like, but it's not as good though. That was always the main thing, that it wasn't as good as what we already had.
Why did you stay?
I didn't want to sing with anybody else. I knew her voice, like, it was mine. It was just all the magic in the world in these 2 sheets of paper, and eventually it was like, do you not like my stuff because it's not like the other thing? Or do you not like it because it comes from me? And when I told her this, she went off by herself on her phone, came back and said, I'm gonna leave. Not just the band. You?
That must have been devastating. I'm so sorry.
It was. Like, it really was. So I was like, let me prove that we're worth it. I'll do anything. I'll get a tattoo. And she looked at me all coolly, like, go ahead. I was like, all right, bet. And so I got her lyrics tattooed on my birthday in the middle of the picture that was going to be our logo. And the next time I saw her, she was at the grocery store next to the daycare that she used to work at. I went up to her in the frozen aisle and I was like, and she looked at me. And she looked through me. And I know she watches you. She used to send me your videos, like, all the time. So I thought I would come here and let her know.
If this is going to work,